You're listening to Vaquero News, the Valley Student Station.
Good afternoon, Vaqueros. Today is Monday, April 25th. It is currently 2 p.m. and it's going to be another hot day here in our Edinburgh studio. As always, we're coming to you live. I'm your anchor, Rodolfo Alvarado.
And I'm Gerardo Escalon.
And this is Vaquero News.
The Civic Engagement Alliance held their State of the RGV conference last week. The conference was held for students to engage with their elected student leaders. Here's Rodolfo with how the event played out.
The Civic Engagement Alliance, or CEA, held their yearly State of the RGV last Wednesday at the Student Union, where students were able to interact with their elected leaders and mingle with them. The event started around 1:30 p.m. with a panel of student leaders, including Student Government Association President Jose Pablo Rojas, Multimedia Intern for Student Activities Ruben Loza, Vice President of Education for the CEA Samuel Valdez, and Nursing Major Ambassador Caritza Garcia. The panel members were each asked a series of questions, as well as questions the audience had for them. The first question asked to the panel was what their definition of leadership was and had it transformed during their time as student leaders. The SGA president was the first to respond to the question.
I thought that leadership was self-explanatory, taking lead. I've learned that best attribute a leader can aspire to is understanding.
Loza went on to explain that leadership to him isn't about being flawless.
A leader is someone who is able to help others, guide them, not make fun of their mistakes, but instead helping others.
One interesting question posed to the panel was how they were able to balance their responsibilities with their social lives. Garcia had advice to those who may be struggling with balancing work with their personal lives.
So learn to say no when you have to. Know that you're important, and your alone time is also very important for your own mental health.
After the panel, students in attendance were invited to a networking event next to the Student Union Theater where they could sit down with panelists and hold some conversations. During this portion, Vaquero Radio spoke with Valdez about what he thought could be changed by future student leaders here at UTRGV.
As of right now, maybe being more open to students. I know that there's some attitudes that they feel that they're not being heard. I just want to make sure that everybody feels welcome to go to any student leader and feel like they can give their 2 cents about it.
For similar events hosted by the CEA, visit their V-Link page. This is Rodolfo Alvarado for Vaquero Radio.
From trash to cash, a UTRGV professor is doing their part to help children with illness by selling soda pop tabs. Silvana Villarreal reports.
Donating soda can pop tabs to the Ronald McDonald House of Charities, RMHC, could help a child with a medical condition and their family to receive free housing while receiving medical care. The RMHC has several drop-off sites in Texas and many more in the U.S. where you could donate pop tabs from aluminum cans. According to the RMHC Coastal Empire's website, an estimate of 1,128 pop tabs equals to £1, and it can be valued around 40 to 50 cents. With these statistics, the charity raises close to $6,000 a year. These donations aid in maintaining the 300-plus houses around the globe that help families in financial need. They have extended their donations from only pop tabs to also electronics and keys. They do not receive soda can donations as they find it to be space depriving and unclean. They partner with Dedian or Free Cycling to sell the tabs and receive monetary means to finance the housing. Depending on the location, the organization does ask for a small donation per night from the family, but 95% of the guests are unable to pay. Regardless, they are not turned away from their inability to contribute. There are around 14 facilities scattered around the state of Texas, starting in Amarillo and reaching down to Corpus Christi. Pamela Herring, a UTRGV Environmental Studies professor and host of a pop tab drive in the university, has this to say about the charity.
Well, I've had at least 7 students who told me they wouldn't be here today without the Ronald McDonald House.
You can donate pop tabs or plastic bottle caps to Professor Herring's office, room number 2.410, Sable Hall in the Brownsville UTRGV campus, or send them directly to the Corpus Christi Ronald McDonald House of Charity at 3402 4th 4th Street, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78411. This is Silvana Villarreal with Vaquero Radio.
The Valley is getting an authentic taste of Philadelphia. Food truck owner Bill DeSimone was raised in Philly and decided to open his Philly cheesesteak restaurant in the Valley. Here is Felix Balderas with more.
An authentic Philly cheesesteak food truck is now offering a taste of Philadelphia at 4350 Tres Lagos Boulevard, McAllen, Texas. Food truck owner Bill DeSimone was born and raised in Philadelphia and discovered a passion for Italian food, especially Philly cheesesteaks, at a very young age.
Since I was, about 12. I worked in restaurants my whole entire life as a kid, summertime jobs. Started out dishwashing, prepping, cooking, making cheesesteaks. Italian food, Philly food.
When asked about his intention of bringing one of the most iconic Philadelphia foods to South Texas, DeSimone had this to say.
They serve nothing but the best in South Texas because the Valley deserves it. What really bothered me is that other restaurants are selling cheesesteaks and they're not from Philly. They got no business doing what they do. And that's the reason why I opened this up too, because you guys...
Customer Jason Lester discusses his views on Philly's cheesesteaks.
As far as cheesesteaks go, he's the best. I mean, I've had him in other places, but Philly's from Phil. Yeah, Phil is from Philadelphia, so he's got it down. There's no comparison. Yeah, they try to do the best they can, but I don't know. I don't know what Phil puts in his cheesesteaks, but they're awesome. We come around here to the park often, and a lot of people don't even know what a cheesesteak is. So it's bringing another culture, to the Valley.
Nearby resident and customer Brian Peñas shares why he stopped at Philly's cheesesteaks.
I actually work on Ware Road, but I live so close by, so my boss likes for me to pick up lunch for all of us. I think there's no other cheesesteaks like these, to be honest. Because I've tried different spots. I don't really want to say names, but it doesn't compare to this. You can't get nothing like this anywhere else.
Philly's Cheesesteaks is located at 4350 Tres Lagos Boulevard. He is open Wednesday through Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is Felix Valderas with Vaquero Radio.
And now, a COVID report from Silvana Verial.
According to the COVID-19 Cameron County Public Health website, 15 new COVID-related cases turned out positive based on PCR testing. Cameron County has received 2 additional positive tests on antigen and 2 at-home testings as of April 22nd. The Public Health Department has received no new notifications for COVID-related deaths, keeping the total deaths in Cameron County to 2,230. In Hidalgo County, according to the COVID report posted on Twitter as of April 25th, 1 additional death was reported. The individual was not vaccinated. 24 COVID-related cases were reported, 15 confirmed and 9 probable. This is Silvana Villarreal with COVID updates.
And McLean goes up and throws down a monster dunk. And that fires up the UTRGV Fieldhouse.
Now time for Vaquero Sports.
The UTRGV men's baseball team have won their 3rd straight game this past Tuesday. Here's Amita Garcia with the recap.
UTRGV baseball triumphed against Incarnate World Cardinals last Tuesday night at the UTRGV Baseball Stadium. The Vaqueros baseball team has successfully won its 3rd straight game and scored in the bottom of the 1st inning and twice in the 8th inning. At the end of the 3rd inning, the Vaqueros used a sacrifice fly to the center field by graduate outfielder Brian Sturgis, who has a .376 batting average, leading the team to 1-0. Ramirez finished 2 for 4 with 2 runs embatted and 2 runs scored just like Kane, and he went 2 for 3 with a walk. Rojas finished with a 2 for 3 with a runs embatted and a run scored, and junior infielder Chris Mondesi went 2 for 4 with a score of 2 runs. The Vaqueros added 3 more runs in the 4th and a runs embatted single by graduate outfielder Freddy Rojas Jr. with an average of 28 runs embatted. Sturgis belted a 2-run home run that made the crowd go crazy. He has an average of 5 home runs per season, his 5th in the 5th inning, to put the Vaqueros up to 6-0. Junior infielder Diego Ramirez added a 2-run home run, the first of his career, to put the Vaqueros up to 9-1. The Vaqueros will be back in action against the Longhorns this Tuesday at 6:30 at the UTRGV Stadium. Tickets are already sold out, by expecting a big crowd and an interesting game. This is Amira Garcia for Vaquero Radio. Hello, Vaqueros. This is Amira Garcia for the Sports of the Week. Looking forward for this Tuesday, we have the baseball game that already sold out the tickets. It's against the Longhorns at 6:30. For this Wednesday at 6 p.m., we have a baseball game against A&M Corpus Christi at Corpus Christi, presented by Navy Irving Community Credit Union. On Friday, we have a men's golf tournament versus WAC Championship at Las Vegas, Nevada, and at 7 p.m., a baseball game versus Tarleton at Edinburgh. On Saturday, we have a men's golf tournament versus WAC Championship at Las Vegas, Nevada, a men and women's track and field tournament at College Station, and at 6 p.m., we have a baseball game versus Tarleton at Edinburgh. For Sunday, we have a men's golf tournament versus WAC Championship at Las Vegas, and at 12 p.m., we have a baseball game versus Tarleton at Edinburgh. And that's all for the week, Vaqueros.
And now for this week's event calendar.
Hi Vaqueros, this is your events for this week. Are you a big fan of Harry Potter? If so, go to the CAVS Harry Potter Tumbling event today at 2 p.m. from 6 p.m. at the Chapelon in front of the Student Union. They will have some many surprises, they will have prizes, stickers, ropes, and wands. Before the movie showing, they will be having a tumbling event where there will be different Harry Potter theme activities. Come and relive the wonderfuls of the Wizard World. Then on Wednesday, we have graphic thoughts. Let's talk about animation. It's a continuous of a comic discussion of a series of graphic novels, cartoons, and pop culture issues. This will be on Wednesday, April 27. And are you hungry of hot Cheetos? Well, on Thursday, on April 28, from 11:45 to 2 p.m., there will be a help of SAE Baja Racing get a 22 SA competition for getting hot Cheetos and cheese. This is Jan Trejo for Vaquero Radio.
Now for this week's campus weather report.
According to the National Weather Service, for today, April 25th, you can expect sunny and breezy weather with a high of 88 degrees Fahrenheit. But at night, you can expect to hear thunder and heavy rain. More of the same will follow throughout the week until Wednesday night. The skies will finally clear on Thursday morning with sun and wind and a high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This is Silvana Villarreal with the weather report.
And that's it for today's newscast.
Be sure to tune in every Monday at 2 p.m. on the Radio FX app, and don't forget to add Vaquero Radio to your favorites.
For now, stay safe. This has been Rodolfo Alvarado.
And this has been Gerardo Escalon. Have a pleasant week, Vaqueros. This has been Vaquero Radio News.